Hello friends, you are watching English with Pradeep YouTube channel. Friends, today we shall discuss about William Blake's most celebrated poem, The Chimney Sweepers. Before going to discuss this poem, I would like to give some information about our present poet. So let's go. William Blake was a pre-romantic poet, and there are a lots of poets in this age, but William Blake was too much celebrated and evergreen poet in the writing of pre-romanticism. He was not only a poet but also a painter, printmaker of the Romantic age. He was born on 28 November 1757, Soho, London, United Kingdom. He was died on 12 August 1827, London, United Kingdom. His artworks means his pictures are The Ancient of Days, Newton, The Ghost of a Flea, and a lot more. His category of writing is mainly based on symbolism and romanticism. Among his most celebrated poem, the most dazzling constellation of our literature were The Tiger, The Lamb, London, The Chimney Sweepers, and A Poison Tree. Along with this well evergreen and most celebrated poem, he was composed an anthology called Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. Songs of Innocence was published probably in 1789 and Songs of Experience was published in 1793. And let's go to know about the theme of this poem. As you can see, the poem was about the protest against the evils of chimney sweeping. That means the contemporary age was too much pathetic for the innocent children. Children are often used to sweep chimneys by the industrialist and the dishonest businessmen and traders. Our poet has raised a very strong voice against this malpractice of that contemporary age. Chimney sweeper's life was too much pathetic and harmful. As you have known very well that chimney sweeping is a dangerous job, especially for the innocent children, because they have a lot of chances to get flamed, get burned by the heavy warmth of the chimneys. So it is not a suitable work for them. So our poet, feeling too much regret for this kind of inhuman works served by the children, this is a strong protest. This poem has strong protest against this malpractice. They compel to dwell in a large room in a very unhealthy circumstances. It seems to them as a coffin. So the poet says, that not only they are working hard in chimney sweepings, but they are also dwelling in a very unhealthy, inhuman conditions, and they often feel that they are not in a working field but they are confined in a coffin. They have a chance to get wounds and chance to burn by the flame. As I have said to you that it is a very dangerous job for them. They may have a chance to get burned by the tremendous heat of the flame. These poor children were either orphans or foundlings, were sold by the poor parents to the masters sweepers. So again we can have a pathetic picture that due to the poverty, some parents compelled to sell their children to the industrialist, to the traders, and they can take the illegal benefit of it by utilizing their labor of the childhood days instead of sending them to school for their education. So not only they are working in a factory by chimney sweeping, they are losing their childhood delightness, and I think it is too much pathetic and inhuman seems to the poet. That's why he is composing this poem. They suffered from cancer caused by soot, and occasionally little children terrified in the inky blackness of the chimneys got lost in their delightful childhood. So again our poet would like to focus to his reader that in this unhealthy situation, so many people, so many workers are often infected by cancer, a dangerous disease. We have very well known about it, and this is because they have to dwell in the soot or in the inky environment, and naturally they may infected by a dangerous disease, as well as they have a chance to lose their most of the delightful moments of their life. That means they are losing their childhood. So the industrialists, and the very cruel and very inhuman industrialists and the traders and the businessmen are not only stealing their physical labors, but also they are stealing their human rights. So it seems to the poet too much inhuman and pathetic in this poem. So let's go to the text of the poem. In stanza 1, this poem has been divided in 5 stanzas. So now we are highlighting stanza by stanza and line by line the meaning, so that we can interpret, analysis the poet's motto and what is the main theme the poet would like to instruct us. So let's begin. When my mother died, I was very young. So this is the beginning line of this poem. The narrator says that my mother was died in my early period of my life, when I was a teeny boy. I was a teeny boy when I lost my mother. So you know the role of a mother in a children's life is similar to be like a god. So losing mother for the children, it seems to be losing his god. So a father is not such responsible, not shows such responsibility just like a mother, and after the death of this narrator's mother, the father sold him. And he says that my father sold me while yet my tongue. The narrator says that his father was sold him when he cannot even able to speak fluently. So again in the second line we can see a very inhuman sight in by this line we can see or convey our poet's message that on that time human was treated just like a product. As we are purchasing some product from the market, so the industrialists also have an facilities to purchase children to and implement them to work in chimney sweeping. That is too much pathetic, not only pathetic but also inhuman. Could scarcely cry, weep, 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 weep. Then the narrator says that I can hardly cry. It is not fluent cry, it is to hardly cry, so that I can cry as weep, weep, weep. So, your chimney I sweep, and in soot I sleep. So, this is very ironical statement for all of us to the reader by the poet. The poet says by this line, or the narrator says by this line, while I am sweeping, I am cleaning your chimneys, but I cannot get such facility to dwell in cleanness, while I have to, or I compel to dwell in such a filthy condition that is not only unhealthy but also very pathetic as far as the statement of the narrator. Then what happened in the second stanza? Let's see. In the second stanza, the poet portrays again a pathetic condition and also interprets some matters of superstition of that contemporary times. On that contemporary time, it was a superstition belief that curling hair is a symbol of some odd or oddness. So here in this stanza we can see that due to the sense of superstition, the industrialist or the owner of a factory saved a boy called Tom Dacre. So why? Tom Dacre's hair was curled. So he saved his hair. So let's read the rhyme. There's little Tom Dacre who cried when his head, that curled like a lamb's back, was saved, so I said. The narrator says that there is a little Tom Dacre who was crying when his head was shaved due to his curl hair. So I said, "Hush, Tom, never mind it." Then the narrator consoles the particular character Tom, that you should not cry, don't mind it, don't keep it in your mind seriously. For when your head's bare, because now your head is bare, though it is eventually too much pathetic, but I think it is said by Tom that it is said by narrator to Tom that I think it is too much profitable to you because you have no hair at all, so you need not to think about the harmfulness of your hair due to the inky circumstances. In the last line, you know that soot cannot spoil your white hair. So it is a kind of salvation or consolation by the narrator to Tom that you have no hair at all, so you need not to be worried about the about your white hair. So let's see what happened in stanza 3. In this stanza, we can also see as, and so he was quiet, and that very night. So after getting my consolation, Tom was quiet and calm, and the very night, as Tom was sleeping, he had such a sight. So while Tom was sleeping, he had a dream that thousands of sweepers like Dick, Joe, Ned and Jack were all of them locked up in a coffin's back. Again a pathetic dream comes to Tom while he is sleeping after the consolation of the narrator. What he dreams? He sees that thousands of sweeping boys, namely Dick, Joe, Ned and Jack, all of them were blocked in a coffin's back. So it is again denotes the previous conveying or previous revealing message that these chimney sweepers are compelled to dwell in a very filthy and unhealthy condition so that they can have a lot of chances to affected by a dangerous disease like cancer. Let's go to the next stanza. And why came an angel who had a bright key? So here we can have a very good sign for this innocent children, that after showing very pathetic sight of these children, some representative of God called angel comes to Tom with a bright key, and he opened the coffins and set them all free. So it is a hopeful sight for them after facing a lots of tremendous condition. Tom is now dreaming about the most pleasurable thing, that an angel comes with a bright key and opened the coffin and set them free. It is very delightful sight for them and for the confined children's, unfortunate confined children's. And then down a green plain, leaping, laughing, they run. So, as it is expected behaving while they are freed by this angel, then they are running, they are planning, they are leaping, laughing, and running in the green field. So their behavior is just like a prisoner after living a lots of span of life in a cell. So while they are set free, then they are trying to enjoy their life immense. So the unfortunate children, the poor children, the very ill-fated children are doing such behavior after their freedom from their coffins, so-called coffin. It is made by the industrialists or dishonest traders of that contemporary time, and washed in a river and in the sunshine. So there again says that after their long confinement, they washed. Then even they could. This line says that even they could not bath well, they could not eat well, they could not get a hostile place to dwell, and so after getting freedom from such kind of confinement circumstances, so they are bathing in the river, and also they are bathing in the sunshine. So that's the fourth stanza, and let's go to the ultimate stanza of this poem, what happened. In stanza 5, we can see again the pathetic sign after the conclusion of the dream of Tom. In this stanza, we can see, and so Tom awoke, and we rose in the dark. So Tom says, my dream comes to an end, and while I am awake, and I see that I am in the same dark circumstances when it was earlier, just like earlier, and got with our bags and brushes to work. So we are taking our bags and brushes, and we are set out for the work. So again our life is going to be disgusted works. So they are going to work, they are set out from their home to work against these disgusting and inhuman works, that is chimney sweepings. Though the morning was cold, the speaker says, the narrator says that the night was tremendously cold, but Tom was happy and warm, because before few minutes, Tom has a sweet dream about the angels. So he is very quite active and happy after watching such kind of hopeful and dream on behalf of the God. So that they and the suggestion of the God was that, like, so if all do their duty, they need not fear harm. So it is a moral preaching at the concluding line of this poem. The poet says, the narrator says, or we can say that it is the instruction of the angel to the boys that they should work with full dedication. If they do they perform their duty in very punctual way, so they need not to harm. No one can play a harmful role for them. So it is a moral preaching at the concluding line of this poem. So William Blake wants to instruct us that we should not ignore our duty. We should not ignore our duty, but we have to perform it punctually, so that we are always remain tension free, and others, our job providers, often satisfied with us, and we will be awarded with a great honor. So that's the ending of the poem. I hope you would like this video, and please like, share and subscribe my channel, so that I can able to I am inspired by your like, shares and subscription. All of these three things are free to you. So my motto, as I have said to you in the introduction video, that I have an aim to teach better to those needy students, those needy pupils who are studying English literature in school, colleges and universities, and also preparing for the competitive exams like SSC, CSC, UGC, NET, SET and lots more exams, competitive exams regarding this. So English is not only confined into English grammar and literature, but it is a very essential part of our life. If we want to establish ourselves as an educated or gentleman person in the society, then we must have to know English as well, so that we can establish ourselves as a gentleman in the society. So please like, share and subscribe my channel, so that I got inspired more and more and bring lots of videos for your profit. That's all for this video, and hope you will join me in my next video. Thank you.